All right, welcome to the Liverpool Connection podcast. We are here to discuss today's draw up at Newcastle, 3-3. That was a game. That felt like it was going to end up being one of those Salah special moments where he wins us the game. He was magnificent again, but unfortunately, didn't quite happen. But a point, I'm not too disappointed. Steve Wilson, Delcros, what's your first thoughts after the game?
I think initially it feels like a defeat, really. You go 3-2 up with 5 minutes to go, and then you let in a fucking goal that, fucking Kelleher typically throws a hat in that and catch it. So it's kind of a bit deflating, but all in all, I think when the dust settles and you look at it and go, they bet City up there, they bet Arsenal up there, a point away to Newcastle is probably a decent enough result, considering that we didn't show up for the first 45 minutes. So. It's hard to win the game.
We looked like a team that had a massive week, right? We had Madrid, we had Man City. We didn't start great, and that kind of continued a little bit into the second half as well. But Wilson, at the first half, we came out. We didn't look great. Newcastle high pressing us. They looked well up for it, as they should. Wednesday night, massive game for them. But first half, we just didn't look quite at it.
Well, it's always a tough trip up to Tyneside, right, to play Newcastle up there. We don't have in the recent history, has not been good for us up there. And, and like you said, after two massive games, had that third game in a week. I thought we were very legged in that first half. I think Gravenberch was slow on the mark. Just McAllister was slow, letting people turn him in the midfield. And I don't want to say that we came in complacent because Newcastle has runners on their team, but I just felt that we're getting on the wrong side of the ball. Kwanzaa couldn't find a pass, even Gomez couldn't find a pass. Van Dijk, Robertson, no one could find the pass, and it really put a lot of pressure on our team in that first half. You combine that with the slow start, and Newcastle playing at home, they really put on the pressure, and to be all fair, I mean, they probably should have been up 2-0 at halftime, with Isaac. He ends up scoring a goal, but the one time he got through, he crossed it across the middle. That probably should have been a goal. Gordon had a great chance. And for it to not to be more at halftime, we're lucky on that. And so, yeah, it wasn't a good day at the office, but I think that's been kind of the recent games. We haven't started off very good, have we, in a lot of the recent games?
So today, I don't know. So we often look at this through our fucking tunnel vision and through the lens of fucking Liverpool. But I don't know. I'm not so sure. I don't know. I'm not sure whether today we weren't at it in the first half, or was it fucking Newcastle were very aggressive and really up for it and very hungry and put us under a tremendous amount of pressure.
Well, I don't.
You have to give them a bit of credit.
The obvious
you're
answer,
right.
I think it's a bit of both, right? I think that's what Newcastle were well up for it.
Yeah.
They obviously had a plan to go get at our middle and get at Gravenberch, who definitely struggled.
Right.
And then you had the early yellow card to McAllister didn't help as well. And then so there was a bit of that. I thought Newcastle did. They pressed us.
Yeah,
they had it. They went through the middle. They tried to get at our midfield and then used Gordon on the left against Kwanzaa and Gomez. So I think, and it has been a trend. Like our first half, if we look just at us, the first half we definitely sit a little bit more, right? We kind of invite pressure on, and then we try and hit teams.
But if you're a coach on another team, you see Kwanzaa as a right back, you're going to attack him, and they would attack Trent if he was there. That's just what people do, right? Yep. They stay away from Van Dijk's side, they go there, and the problem was with the elements, with them high pressing, is that we weren't. Our first touch was bad in the midfield. We'd get the ball, and there's a couple times that Gomez passed into McAllister with a man on his back in the midfield. Like, you can't do that. They're high pressing. You gotta pick an alternative route, man. And I think that's indicative of Kwanzaa and Gomez not playing a lot this season.
Yep.
With the midfield that we had, and it showed. I mean, they pressed us, and it really took Slot to come in at halftime and really adjust the tactics, which he did.
Individually, I thought Gomez and Kwanzaa were okay, but you're right. It looked like they hadn't played together, right? Yeah. And Newcastle tried to take advantage of it and did, but I want to give credit to Newcastle. I did think they played really well because they have been struggling. But Isaac, I mean, that's a great goal. I mean,
it is a good goal. But hey, as somebody that plays center back, it's still not good enough from Van Dijk. And what sucks about that is we were sitting here at the pub, battling the elements, kind of like they were over there in Newcastle, battling under the overhang. We're battling it. Yeah. But the thing is, we're just talking about how Van Dijk has been really playing really well, and on that, he lets Isaac turn him, and then he turns his back on him, which is you shouldn't be doing as a center back. Don't turn your back on the guy about to take a shot. And then he kind of, I think he wasn't expecting him to shoot early because he kind of just turns his head and sticks his leg out.
I don't think anyone was. It's a brilliant finish.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, it was just not because other than that play, Van Dijk played very well. But on that particular play, sometimes you got the one-on-one, the individual battle. Van Dijk did not win that one, right? And it led to a goal. It was a great shot.
Yeah.
But, man, Isaac had time to turn in that mid. I don't know where our defensive mids were at that time. But then he turned, and then Van Dijk turned his back, which you should never do. You should never turn your back. And then he shot. But it was a great shot, and I think it kind of swerved. You kind of saw and it was turning that way, and then it went that way. Anyway, a great goal. It's not the end of the world at 1-0.
Do you think, I don't know, well, it's easy in hindsight as well. But do you think we might have been trying to be a bit too clever with Kwanzaa and Gomez? And, I don't know whether...
What's alternative?
Clever is out. I think it's the lack of options kind of negated that. I think you have to...
Gomez
just come back in, 6 weeks out.
Gomez always puts in a good shift at right back.
He does, but,
Yeah, Kanate
is going to be out for a while, and you want to build that relationship at centre back.
I
don't know. I think the manner of the performance in the first half was the whole team. Look at it.
What's interesting to me that because there are we're limited options with the injuries, and so anybody that's saying we haven't had any injuries, they're not really paying attention, right?
Yeah.
But you could play Curtis Jones has played right back. I think that would have been a good option. Then you could have Zoboslai playing in there in the midfield in that for the three with the McAllister, Gravenberch,
I just think
and
your fucking best team.
Yeah,
I think for
right.
but
But Kwanzaa playing
but solid at centre back.
Yeah, you're right.
You're up against Isaac. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not fucking. No. He's not Haaland. So I could understand why he didn't want to mess with it in City. And you go, I have to take Trent off. And you look at the fucking bench, and it's like, who the fuck have I got?
I totally agree with you on that.
So I get the City one. So today you kind of look at it and go, well, I don't think there was much need for him to put him out there. I think he would have done a job next to Virgil. And I think Gomez probably would have handled what's his name?
Gordon.
And I don't think that we were blatantly fucking outplayed down that side of the field either. I'm just
kind of saying... That wasn't the main problem.
No, it wasn't.
That wasn't the main
exactly.
issue.
But I'm just wondering, like, if you set yourself up nice and fucking solid like that, it might... I don't know.
Yeah. It did surprise me that having Kwanzaa out there on the right versus Gomez, knowing that Gordon has pace, right? So Gomez is a lot faster than Kwanzaa. But then again, there's a couple times Kwanzaa did go up the field and he made some good passes.
He did all right, Kwanzaa.
I
thought he had a decent game.
Yeah, so
he's a good player.
Moving on to second half, and you mentioned him earlier. We came out a lot better. Curtis Jones, who is getting better and better, in my opinion. Yeah. Fantastic goal. Set up by...
Well, he can't get any worse. You didn't really rate him last season.
He was... Come on, Jones is developing every season.
But
what a finish. That is a brilliant goal.
He's turned inside out.
I thought he was probably one of our best players, not just because of the goal, but even in the first half. I thought he did all right. And in the second half, he was really good as well. But, again, brilliant play by Salah. Great pass. And beautiful finish
Yeah,
by
one touch.
Curtis Jones. And we did look a lot better
yeah.
early second half. But go.
No, just the
Probably
one.
should have scored a second.
Yeah,
Shouldn't he? Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
The one touch shot by Jones is what I was hoping that Salah would have done the first half when Kwanzaa pushed that ball and he tried to take that touch running at full speed. Like, just put it in the net, right? Yeah. But second half, I mean, even the second goal we scored, Salah's goal, was a one-time finish, right? So, like, just put your boot through it, when you have a chance. You're inside the penalty area.
Yeah.
And you're running full speed. Sometimes you don't have that extra touch that you could do. But the second half, like you guys said, I have confidence that Slot does make changes, and they came out a different team, right, at the second half. So
yeah, and the Newcastle, their second goal was a bit of a surprise. I thought it was like that kind of shook me. Like I didn't expect that. I thought we were once Jones scored to get us to 1-1. I thought, okay, we're going to go on, we're going to win this game, and I think that surprised everyone when that happened.
yeah.
And then the changes happened. Trent comes on, made a difference. I thought Szoboszlai looked good, but Mo Salah second half was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, probably wasn't even for the second half. It was for the last 30 minutes.
He was.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
anonymous for an hour.
Last
Yeah, he
30
was.
minutes.
He hardly touched the ball in the first half.
I mean, he was
he's
unbelievable.
spectacular.
I mean, you could see that he was a man on a mission.
Yeah.
And he did this a couple of games before that he's like, I'm going to win us this game.
Yeah.
And he had that amazing run where he hit the post or the bar, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then he had one where he nearly won a penalty as well. It was just, and then he was, I mean, it beggars belief.
Yeah, even how he goes, gets the ball.
We
after
haven't
he
nailed
scores
him
the second.
down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like, you could just see it in his face.
Yeah, he was like, no,
He's
fuck
like,
this,
no,
we're going to win.
I'm going to win us
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I sense where you're going with this.
Yeah, because going into the game, you're like, hey, a draw on the road. We have these point advantage over the city and Arsenal, and just take the point and move on. But then when you're in the position to win at the end, you got to close it out, right?
It's disappointing, right? Kelleher, because that's what we're going to get to next, has been magnificent. And he genuinely has been magnificent whenever he's deputised for Alisson.
He spared Gomez's blushes, right?
And
And Van Dijk against
and
City.
he misjudged it. It happens, but he's going to be devastated tonight with that.
Yeah.
And Chris, of
kind
course, I'm looking
Yeah,
at
I know.
you. He's your man.
Schoolboy error.
I mean,
he's
if
a
an
good
American
lad.
was in goal,
yeah,
I'd
he's
look
a
at
good
you,
lad to
but,
come out and
yeah,
catch
yeah,
a ball. And,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 he'll come out and catch that.
Yep.
He won't even fist. If you look, he's not a fella that punches a whole lot either. He typically comes out and catches the ball.
Yeah.
And just for whatever fucking reason, whether he got a shout, I don't know, or what.
yeah, Jurgen Klopp would say brain fog.
Yeah.
He must have got a shout because he went for it.
And then
And he
went,
pulled
"Oh,
his hands back.
doesn't it? Which
Yeah, he
tells
didn't
me
put his
that-
arms up.
That someone has said something, right? Because you
Yeah,
wouldn't go
just
up and then
kind of
just
just misjudged it.
Well,
But I mean, even still, it's a fucking. We'll give what was it, Sarr, was it?
yeah.
The benefit of the doubt and say, what a fucking finish.
I mean, well done. Well done.
You know,
to
he's
him.
fucking a cute angle, fucking left foot, fucking ball coming, I don't know how many yards in the air like that,
Whoa.
followed it the whole way. So,
That's probably the first mistake Keller has made since he's deputized for Alisson. I don't remember any
he wasn't
others.
very good now. He wasn't very good for the second goal
Last-
either. There was a few things today that I don't know, he was just like the rest of the team. They were just a little bit, I felt, out of sorts, and it wasn't his best day today.
The
for
cliche
sure.
is, I think I said it earlier, it's after the Lord Mayor's show, there's the drop off. And after the massive week we've had, I think to get out, yes, it's disappointing because we're so close to winning.
Still a
but
point,
to get
yeah.
out with a point at Newcastle, away from home, midweek, crappy weather. I mean, we could look back and say that was a good result at the end of the season because it will be. Don't lose, but we got out, we got a point, move on.
What-
Now it's on to Everton.
You know what Slough would be disappointed with, because they actually had higher XG than we did, right? At 2.09 and 2.07. That's
Here comes the stats.
But I mean, that's first. I think first time all season that somebody has really
Chelsea.
out XG does.
You like
It's-
the stats? Chelsea had the highest XG ever in the Premier League today.
Yeah, I believe it. They could score goals for fun. But I'm saying Slot will be very disappointed because to give up that many chances, you know,
Wonder
to
what
that
Darwin
team.
Núñez XG is.
-6.
He's just snake bit, man. I mean, there's just something that he can't get it over the line. You know, you thought today, coming back to Newcastle and revisiting, you know, where he scored those 2 goals
Yep.
in late last season, that he'd find that magic. And you know, obviously the rain and the wet pitch didn't help anybody, but he came close so many times. I mean, you on one hand love the fact that he's getting chances, but on the other hand, you're like, fucking finish something,
Yeah,
brother.
he's got to score. The
You
one
know?
that he comes across, he slides in, he's
Yeah.
a yard too late. A proper centre fucking
Yeah, yeah,
ball
yeah.
sniffs that.
There's going to be, and there is, and I mentioned it, there's going to be a point in the season where Salah is going to go for a rough spell, right? And you need to have someone
That's when you hope Jota's fit.
that you can rely upon. And it happened
Jota
last
scored
season.
goals.
So last season, Salah hit the ground running. Then Jota was injured at that time.
Yeah.
Salah goes away to AFCON. Jota, luckily for us, comes fit, comes in, scores a ton of goals, right? Salah comes back, Jota gets injured, but then Salah comes back injured, and we didn't have anyone else to pick it up, and it really hurts. And I think it's really important that we figure out, hopefully we get Jota fit, but we need someone that's going to not necessarily, they're not going to be as good as Salah, but we need someone to chip in consistently, because there's going to be a point where Salah's going to have a drop-off.
So Salah comes off at the end with a little knock. Any update on that?
Nothing I heard. Yeah, I saw that in the second half, like right at the end, he kind of, but there wasn't, didn't hear anything in the post-match, so
We'll keep our fingers crossed, you know.
fingers
He's
crossed.
fit as the butcher's dog. He'll be all right.
All right, we will wrap this up. We're also going to do an Everton preview, and we're going to do it right after this, but it's going to be in a separate video.
We'll be back
So
after
you're
this
not
quick
sitting there
commercial
for
break.
an hour. So we'll be back right after the breaks.
Cheers.